How many of you are aware of Battlestar Galactica? Not the 1970s or 80s one, the one in 2000 made by Sci-Fi. That is one of my all-time favorite TV shows. Great, perfect. I recently rewatched it, and as you can imagine, that put you into the mood to watch more similar content. So I decided to check out what the landscape is like these days in terms of sci-fi shows. I haven't been watching any because most modern TV shows for the Western audience anyway is woke as hell. But I came across this show called Altered Carbon. Apparently it has a similar premise or world or technology level as Ghost in the Shell, in that humans can transfer themselves to different bodies. I don't know if the bodies are organic, like some kind of synthetic human type thing, or if it's just a flat out android. I don't know. But when you hear that idea, right, that we live in a society in which thought has been digitized essentially, and you can transfer that thought between bodies, what are some of the premises or the questions, the themes, the motifs that you think such a series would target? For me, right off the bat, it is, if you copy, at what point does the organism no longer, is no longer human? We all know the thing of, you have a human, you chop off an arm, replace the arm with a robotic arm, is still a human. What happens if you replace every other part of the body, and so the mind is still human, but the body is robotic? Is that still a human? Even if you say yes, well, at that point, what happens if we now transfer the mind into a synthetic mind and put that synthetic mind into a synthetic body? Is that still human? Because now at that point you have to wonder what exactly is or does a human mean. Another thought is, if you can transfer a mind, can you copy it? And what would happen if you were to copy that human mind? And so now you have two of the same humans, but like physically that's not possible, but then essentially that's basically what happened, right? If you're able to copy the human mind. So how would that work? Identity theft, for example, would be one hell of a problem at that point. Other problems, this one could be related to reproduction, but not tied to sex, and you see why that's important in a bit, is if humans can transfer their thought, right, and it can be copied, does this not mean that humans are basically immortal? So in a world where humans have discovered immortality, what role does reproduction play, really? Because if you have a bunch of immortal people breeding like jackrabbits, you're going to run into some serious problems, right? So those are some of the concepts, those are some of the thoughts that I would expect, apart from the usual man versus machine and so on. Those are the type of things I'm thinking of. Not these woke people though. When they hear that human mind can be transferred to another body, their first thought is, alright, but if I have sex with that body, am I alphabet? That is their first thought. And you see, this is why we can't have nice things, because that is perhaps one of the least interesting ideas or concepts that you can have for that type of premise. Let's just say you have a normal man and your girlfriend decides to put her brain into a male synthetic body. You will still not be attracted to that male synthetic body. You may still have the idea that it is your girlfriend, right? But then when it comes to sex, you have certain interactions that are important. And if you do not like particular, let us say, genitalia, it doesn't matter who that genitalia is attached to, you don't like it. And so this is a nonsensical question to have. It's not some deep philosophical moral quandary that makes you sit down and ponder the meaning. No. So before your wife was in a man's body, taking it up the rear end was not something that you would like. But because your wife is in a man's body, all of a sudden you will like it. That makes absolutely no sense. So this is utterly retarded. And this is what you would need to make your show in order to get praised by these people. But this just reinforced to me that it is best to keep with the old stuff and look overseas for new stuff. you will have more chance of finding non-woke content looking overseas than Western products. And luckily I have no problem reading subtitles.